I don't support Americans getting involved in Ukraine war, and apparently that makes me a Russian stooge, which is odd because I also don't support George Soros or World Economic Forum or any of the vast majority of neocons and the war machine that's in America, and yet somehow I've lost my conservative street cred. It's the weirdest thing, man. I don't understand it. I don't understand. It's like, oh, you don't support the war. It's like we should be giving planes, no-fly zones, missiles, all this stuff to Ukraine. I'm like, I just, it's the strangest thing to me. I say, no, it's not. We have nothing to do with this. Not our war. We were involved, unfortunately, in the Zelensky puppet. That's a fact. But why should American money, because it's only money now, but you know we got people over there who are lives are at stake to to train the Ukrainian forces. I mean, it's such a freaking false flag. I hate to say false flag. I don't even know what a false flag means. I got that word in my head. I know what a false flag is, but it's such a scam. And if you don't support the anti-Putin brigades, you're inherently pro-Putin. It's just this guy said you don't care about innocent children being killed, and how dare you call yourself a Christian? It's just weird to me, man. I'm like, wait, I don't support war. I'd rather not send American money to war. I'd rather not make the war machine more profitable. The people I cannot stand more than anything, the World Economic Forum, the George Soroses of the world, who want one big communistic government, they're on the side of the war machine, and I don't support them. Thus, I must be a pro-Putin. I'm certainly not conservative. It's just weird, man. It's actually frustrating. You're sitting there thinking, if being conservative is supporting wars, which essentially we started with our insanity when it comes to Ukraine, I don't want nothing to do with it. I'll tell you that right now. I'm American first, or Charles Lindbergh, Ford, Henry Ford, American first. I still, for the love of me, we could not afford a wall to protect our borders from anyone who comes in here and says, hey, here I am. And look, I'm all about immigrants. Hey, they want to come in. I just want to make sure we know who they are and that they're not freaking here to do us wrong. And that they have a skill set we need. Shocking. I got no qualm with open borders in that regard, but we have a right to choose who comes in here. No, it's not. Everyone should recognize that. We couldn't afford money to build a wall, but we could afford $14 billion to Ukraine. We spent, how many business owners did we kill because of the stupid COVID lockdowns? We can't. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. Oh, Corona. We locked down all these businesses. We shut people out of work. We destroyed people's lives, and we can't afford. We paid them $1,300 for a couple of weeks or something like that. A couple of paychecks, a couple of stimulus checks. But other than that, we can't. There's no money. But we'll send $14 billion to Ukraine, which isn't going to go in the pockets of the people who are being slaughtered, as people say. I find it also funny too, by the way. Ukraine has 20 million people. I don't know how many million cell phones are in Ukraine. Millions of cell phones. Yeah, you don't see any instances of all these. You see some propaganda stuff, but you'd think there'd be cell phone coverage all over the place of people. Well, hold on a second. More stuff on when Hitler was doing stuff than we have on Putin Hitler doing stuff, even though we have tens of millions of cell phones out there. That just seems odd to me. Like, wait, we got more stuff on the atrocities of Hitler than we do on the atrocities of Putin. And there's so much so that we have to make stuff up. The whole thing's nuts. And just because this is like the whole thing, like, oh, this must have been what my dad didn't go to Vietnam. He was getting ready to flee the country and go to Canada. But I guess there was an exemption if you have a wife that was pregnant. So I saved my dad from going to Vietnam. And I remember in the old days, I used to think never thought my dad's a coward or anything. I never thought of that like that. But I always said, this is the old neocon in me. The government, beckons you heed the call. No, hell no, man. I mean, just no. If that doesn't make me a conservative, then I'm not conservative, man. I mean, just because the government says you should go to Vietnam and fight, you're like, wait, oh no, I don't want to go to Vietnam and fight. You're either a coward or you're in favor of communism. It's crazy. It's like the same thing here. Oh, you don't support, the Ukrainians taking out Putin? I say absolutely, with their own resources, 100%, their own blood and their own treasure, but nothing to do with us. We don't have any money. There is no money. We have people in the U.S. who aren't getting a good shake because whatever, and the Social Security is not solidified, and I'm sitting there saying, wait, I think we have bigger problems on the home front than freaking Ukraine. And it just ticks me off. I don't get it. It's like, oh, you're not a conservative then. You don't support war. You don't support Zelensky. Zelensky's a clown, man. Give me a flipping break. That this guy's our hero. It's insane to me. This is just like the COVID stuff, except again, once again, my side falls for it. It's crazy how much this reminds me of worse though, but I'll never forget. And I said this a million times. I'll say it again. And the some county, I forgot, in Fairfax County or Arlington County, I forgot where I was living in Virginia, and they just passed. I don't know if they passed legislation. I think they did. That's banning cigarette smoking from bars, and I think it was a state actually, if memory serves. And I said, this is insane. All the Republicans supported it, and I said, why are you supporting? Conservatives too. And I said, why are you supporting that? He goes, well, people should have a right not to breathe in cigarette smoke. I said, they do have a right not to breathe in cigarette smoke. They have a right not to frequent that business. Oh, but what if they want to? Well, you said they should have a right not to breathe in cigarette smoke. They do have that right. No one's forcing them to go in a business that allows for cigarettes. So if a business owner wants to allow for cigarettes, he should be allowed to. If you don't like the cigarettes, then don't go. He goes, well, that's not fair. I said, of course it's fair. It's the fairest thing. We allow for smoking here. If you don't want smoke, then don't come here. It's just that simple. Anyway, I'll never forget the conservatives. Oh, no, that's not right. We should. I said, you see, you're not conservative, or at least the way I look at conservatism. What is conservatism for you then? That we want to fight the bad guys with our blood and treasure? Well, we're not going to fight the bad guys now. We're only going to bomb them like we're doing in Somalia. We're only going to bomb them like we're doing in Syria. We're only going to give them missiles and stuff. We're only going to send them money, and at some point it will come to advisors, which leads to infantry units. So that's conservatism? No, I'm not conservative then. What is conservative? Oh, we're going to mandate that you can't allow people to smoke cigarettes or engage in things they want to do because it's not fair to you. I say, well, who wants to then buy the business? I mean, but to pass legislation, I mean, what the hell is that? So many things of conservatism. Big conservative, big con. That's what it is. Big con, big conservatism. Fake, man. Oh, we want tax cuts. Why? Why do you want tax cuts? Because that'll stimulate the economy. Really? Okay, prove that. But on top of that, well, we want tax cuts because they'll help the middle-class people. And you're like, middle-class Americans aren't paying that much in income tax anyway, bro. They're not. Middle-class Americans aren't. So you're going to give tax cuts to the rich, and you're going to say, we support tax cuts because that's what the Laffer curve said to do. The Laffer curve was 1970s, man. Let's start modernizing stuff. Maybe take a little bit of the playbook from Pat Buchanan and Henry Ford and be a little bit pro-American first. How about that? All right. So if you want to take away my conservative card, by all means, I'll be glad to burn it at draft day. We'll see you.